Namaste, Shubha Sandhya to everybody. Every Sunday here at Yenri Yoga Environment Neuroscience Research Institute, we are conducting Srimad Bhagavad Gita classes. Every Sunday we have been discussing 10 shlokas, and through that we have reached till Moksha Sanyaas Yoga, and we are going to discuss shloka number 21 to 30 in this class. So I request anybody to start with initial chanting, if anybody is interested, and chant shloka number 21 to 30. Namaste. Anybody is interested?
Namaste, sir.
Okay.
Raja Rajeshwari ji.
Namaste, Doctor.
Namaste, ma. Please.
Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Prataktvena tu yajnanam Jnana Bhavan Prativridan Veti Sarve tu Bhuteshu Tajnanam Vidhi Rajasam Yattu Krishna Vade Kasmin Karye Saktamahaitukam Atatvatavadalpam Cha Tattam Samudahrutam नियतं संग्रहितम् अरागद्वेषदकृतम् अपलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत् सात्विकमुच्यते.
Raja Rajeshwari ji.
One second. यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहंकारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजस समुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनपेक्ष च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते मुक्तसङ्गो नहं वादी धृत्युसाहसमन्वितः सिद्धयोर्निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते रागे कर्मफलप्रेषुः लुप्तो हिंसात्मको सुसिः हर्षशोकान्विदः कर्ता राजसः परिकेतितः अयुक्तः प्राकृतस्तब्धः षठो नैष्कृतिकोलसः विशाखी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामसमुच्यते बुद्धेर्भेदं दृशेश्चैव गुणस्तस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोष्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बंधं मोक्षं च या वेति बुद्धि सा पात सात्विकी.
Thank you very much, Raja Rajeshwari ji. And now we will move on to shloka number 21. Who is going to?
Hello, namaskaram.
Namaste.
गौतम गोराई. मैं 21 श्लोक आप लोगों के सामने उच्चारण करने जा रहा हूँ, तो शुरू करते हैं. ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः. अतः श्रीमद् भगवद गीता अष्टादश अध्याय मोक्ष संन्यास योग. तो 21 श्लोक. पृथक्त्वेन तु अज्ञानं नाना भावान् सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्. जिस ज्ञान के द्वारा मनुष्य समस्त भूतों में नाना भावों को पृथक पृथक जानता है, उस ज्ञान को तुम राजस है. जब हम इंद्रिय, मन और बुद्धि के माध्यम से जगत को अवलोकन करते हैं, तब निस्संदेह उसमें हमें असंख्य प्रकार के भेद दृष्टिगोचर होते हैं, परंतु जो वस्तु जिस रूप में दिखाया जाते हैं उसके उसी रूप को सत्य समझ लेना अविवेक का लक्षण है। राजसी पुरुष का मन सदैव चंचल और अस्थिर रहने के कारण, और यही कारण है कि वह दृष्टिगोचर भेद जैसे वनस्पति, पशु, मनुष्य आदि को परस्पर सर्व, ऐसे ही ज्ञान को राजस ज्ञान कहते हैं। आत्मा पृथक नहीं है, आत्मा आत्मिक दृष्टि से हम सब अभिन्न है, लेकिन इस देह रूपी अज्ञान के चादर से ढके हुए हैं। आत्मा उस परमात्मा रूपी संपूर्ण ज्ञान से परिपूर्ण है। राजस ज्ञान में राग की मुख्यता होती है, जैसे हमारे चतुर्दश अध्याय के 7वां श्लोक में रजो रागात्मक वृद्धि ये कहा गया है। राग का यह नियम है कि वो किसी में आ जाता है तो उसमें किसी के प्रति आसक्ति या प्रियता पैदा कर देता है, और के प्रति द्वेष पैदा कर देता है। इस राग के कारण ही मनुष्य, देवता, यक्ष, राक्षस, पशु पक्षी, कीट पतंग, वृक्ष, लता आदि जितने भी चर अचर प्राणी हैं, उन प्राणियों के विभिन्न आकार, रंग, रूप, स्वभाव, नाम, गुण आदि को लेकर राजस ज्ञान वाला मनुष्य उनमें रहने वाले एक ही अविनाशी आत्मा को अलग अलग समझता है। व्यक्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तत्, जिस ज्ञान से मनुष्य अलग अलग शरीर में अंतःकरण, स्वभाव, इंद्रिया, प्राण आदि के संबंध से प्राणियों को भी अलग अलग मानता है, वह ज्ञान राजस कहलाता है। और राजस ज्ञान में जड़ चेतन का विवेक नहीं होता है। हरि ओम तत्सत। सर्वम श्री कृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु।
थैंक यू वेरी मच गौतम। इस श्लोक को समझने के लिए हमको पिछले श्लोक में भी जाना जरूर।
Not audible.
Namaste. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, no,
No, sir.
now
Now
it
we
is
can
there is a
hear,
breakup.
sir.
Now you can hear.
Clear.
Okay. Actually, I was speaking, but
could hear you.
yeah. I was speaking, but it was muted, I think. Okay. So the thing is that we have to go through the previous shloka also. That is the shloka number 20, where we are talking about Satvik Gnan. And Satvik Gnan, as it has been mentioned in that shloka, as the knowledge through which we unify the things. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tagnanam viddhi satvikam. So we try to understand that even if everything seems to be divided, diverse, still everything is one. That avibhakti which comes into our understanding, that is the Satvik Gnan. If we are separating ourselves, no, I am a Brahman, I am a Kshatriya, I am a Shudra, or I am a Vaishya, or something like that, we can tell, no, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am Christian, or I am a black person, I am a white person, or I am a human being, and so on and so forth. If we identify ourselves like that, it means that we are not in the Sattvic mode of Gnana. So that is the next one, which Gautam explained us in short, that if we are trying to separate ourselves, that is Pruthakttvena. So Pruthakttvena tu Yagnanam Nana Bhavan Pruthak Vidhan Vyakti Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tagnanam Viddhi Rajasam. So if we are trying to separate ourselves, so that is a Bengali person, this is a Kannada person, I am Malayali, So that all these things are Rajasic way of understanding things, and this knowledge which we have, this Gnan which we have, will be Rajasic Gnan. Okay. So with that, we will move on. Now, it's very difficult, no? We easily identify ourselves, no? As I am a male, I am a female, or I am a doctor, or else I am this, I am that. It's very difficult. Most of us are in Rajasic mode of Gnan. Let us move on to the next one.
Namaste, Doctor.
Namaste, Rajarajeshwari ji. Yeah.
यत्तु कृष्णवदे ते कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अदत्वातवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्. But that by which one clings to a single object as if it were everything, without logic, unconcerned with the truth and trivial, that is called tamasic. For example, a teenager will ask the parents to send her or him to a picture. When they refuse, they will start refusing to eat or talk and sit in a mood of like that. And also we have seen so many businessmen, they are very keen on protecting their profits, that they will not stoop to physically harming his competitors. A politician is so keen on lining his pockets that he will sell state secrets to the enemy. So we have seen, even today's paper I have seen, for the exam of public police sub-inspector, a girl has paid 30 lakhs bribe to get the first rank in the examination. These are the things which are the tamasic, some of the tamasic examples. Sarvam Krishnarpana.
Thank you very much, Rajarajeshwari ji.
Namaste.
So here, namaste. Thank you very much. Means this is very selfish way of existing, a selfish way of knowing things. Many people, they identify themselves as everything. In short, if I want to tell that, they will identify themselves as God. They will tell that I am the one who is more than God. And in our scriptures, multiple number of times, we have seen the fate of such tamasic gnanis. Okay. So what happens is, one person will become self-centered, and then self-centeredness will create that blindness. When you try to look close towards your nose, look just towards the tip of your nose, what happens? It is a kind of tratak, it is a kind of mudra. Okay. But if you do that, your other vision becomes very blurred, right? Same happens when we focus too much on ourselves. We don't understand the larger picture, and because of that, because of this hopeless understanding of whatever we try to think ourselves as, we are not able to progress in life. Okay. So next one, shloka number 23.
Namaste, Doctor.
Namaste, Godamani ji.
Namaste, Endri Bandhus. I am chanting 23rd shloka. I am audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
You are audible, madam.
Yes,
Yes,
Godamani.
madam.
Thank you. Niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshatah kritam apala prepsuna karma yattat satvikam uchyate. The blessed Lord explained, when work is done as if it were a sacred task, without any selfish motives, with a peaceful mind, without any feelings of lust and hate, and without any desire of rewards, I consider this work to be pure and sattvic. Summary of this shloka: sacrifice, charity, austerity, vocational duties, and bodily functions, and all other noble acts enjoyed by the scriptures as binding on a particular man with due regard to his grade in society, stage in life, temperament, and circumstances are referred to here as niyatam karma. The use of this adjective niyatam is intended to convey that only such obligatory duties as have been enjoined by the scriptures and are required to be performed either daily or on special occasions can be sattvic in character. Those that have been prohibited or motivated by desire cannot belong to this category. The noun Sangha, forming part of the compound adjective Sangha Rahitam, has not been used in the sense of attachment in this verse. For absence of attachment has been included in the phrase Araga Dvesha Kritam. The word Sangha should therefore be interpreted to mean the feeling of identification that one develops with regard to one's actions by claiming their doership. Hence, Sangha Rahitam should be taken to refer to such actions as are performed without the sense of doership and without identifying oneself with one's body. Hence, the use of this adjective is intended to show that even the aforesaid duties that have been enjoined by the Shastras are Satvika only when they are Sangha Rahitam and not otherwise. The word Apala Prepsuna stands for the unselfish man who, having ceased to entertain the feeling of mindness and attachment in respect of all enjoyments of this world and the next, obtained as a reward for one's actions, no longer cherishes the least craving for those enjoyments, who does not seek to attain any selfish end of his through any action whatsoever, who does not need any object for himself. The present verse shows that action alone is perfectly sattvic, which answers all the qualifications mentioned above. If any of these characteristics is missing in a particular action, its sattvic character should be regarded as wanting to that extent. Besides this, it should also be taken to mean that jnana or realization follows the quality of sattva and sattva actions only. Hence, men who seek to know the truth about God should perform sattvic actions alone and should not court bondage by performing rajasic and tamasic actions. It should be noted that this verse defines sattvic action from the point of view of Sankhya Yoga. Hence, it precludes the senses of doership by the term Sangha Rahitam and the feeling of attractions and aversion to by the word Araga Dveshataha. In the Shloka 9, however, Sattvika Tyaga has been declared to consist merely giving up attachment and craving for the fruit of actions performed from the point of view of Karma Yoga. Hence, there is no mention of the absence of doership in that verse. On the other hand, it advises the performance of action as a matter of duty. Here lies the difference between Sattvika Karma and Sattvika Tyaga as defined in the two verses. God realization through knowledge of truth is the reward of both. Hence, there is no real difference between the two. The difference lies only in their mode of practice. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanam. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Godamaniji. There is no need to explain because you have completely included everything about this shloka. Still, the sattvic, yeah, thank you very much. And this sattvic karma, one has to completely here. One just before this also I have spoken about it. Whether superficially for a person who is seeing superficially, the karma may look as rajasic or tamasic, okay, destructive or with attachment, that kind of action it may look, but internally if that person is sangarahitam and person has aragat dveshatah, so in that manner if person is doing, and for external appearance it may look, oh, that person is killing somebody, yeah, it may look like a very bad kind of act, tamasic karma, but it is not tamasic because this person is doing it without any kind of attachment. Yeah, but that whatever destruction is there, it should be for the greater good of all. that is the way sattvic karma works. Next one.
Namaste, Doctor.
Namaste, Padma ji.
यत्तु काम्येप्सुना कर्म सा अहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद् राजसम् उदाहृतम्. The saramsha of this sloka is that action which is done by one longing for desires, or again with devotism, or with much effort, is declared to be rajasic. The passionate man burdens himself with work that causes unnecessary labor and effort. The action becomes restless and troubled in the course of action because his eye is on the rewards of to be obtained from it, and also the pride of having brought the action to a successful end. Rajoguna has the peculiar ability to arouse strong aspirations for its physical pressure and material advancement. Therefore, action taken out of passion is driven by great ambition and is marked by great effort. Heavy labor and extreme physical and mental exertion are involved. The business world is an illustration of Rajasic behavior. Executives in management frequently express stress. This is due to the fact that their behavior are frequently driven by pride and an excessive desire for power, prestige, and fortune. According to Sri Krishna, a Rajasic activity is started in search of something, someone that will make the person performing the deed happy. The I or ego is given a lot of attention in Rajasic activity, which is another facet. To reduce Rajoguna, one should avoid busy and stimulating environments. Instead, seek out nature and find places that promote serenity, contemplation, and pratyahara. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Padma ji, for such a nice, crisp explanation of this shloka. So, suppose I am doing this Bhagavad Gita, and I expect that everybody should appreciate me, and I should feel that if people appreciate me, I should feel wow, see such a great work I am doing, so on and so forth. So if it is sahankarena, with ahankara, if we are doing it, then it is rajasic karma. So many a number of times, all of us, we fall into this category only, that we want everything we want with some kind of expectations. People should appreciate us, so on and so forth. So this is what is ego. This is what is ahankar, and through that we just destroy, or we just decrease the value of our karma. So yes, in short, that is what it is, and we will move on to the next one.
So namaste, sir.
Namaste, Ravi Shankar ji.
I am audible.
Yeah, please, yes, continue.
Okay, sir. I am chanting sloka number 25. Anubandham kshayam himsa manapeksha cha sapaurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattat tamasamuchyate. The summary of this sloka is that action is declared to be in the mode of ignorance, which is begun out of delusion without thought to one's own ability and disregarding consequences, loss, and injury to others. That action is called tamasic. Sri Krishna explains the nature of a tamasic action, listing its characteristics. As an example, let us see a lot of new college graduates start career path just because they get a lot of money, like software industry, but they do not fully learn about the impact of their health, whether there is any ethical compromising going on, etc. They also do not stop to think whether they have the aptitude, capability, training, and passion for their role. Whenever we begin any action without fully understanding its impacts and consequences, that action becomes tamasic. On similar lines, many people invest money in new ventures without doing the due diligence on the business plan, understanding the market, and so on. They do not take into account the potential loss of their investment since they only focus on potential gain. Furthermore, they do not assess whether the new venture could harm the economic, political, or natural environment. Even if they know what the harm is, they conveniently choose to overlook these facts. Such kind of action is also called tamasic action. The root of tamasic action is tamasic knowledge, which creates a highly perverse sense of attachment towards certain object, person, situation, or end goal, that everything else becomes inferior and worthless. The underlying connectedness or unity of things is forgotten. Even a simple thing like a cut on our face when shaving is a tamasic action which has happened because of our mental noise shifted our focus and attention away from the action. Similarly, when we eat food that is tasty but creates negative long-term health impacts, whenever we give importance to our tongue, we are committing a tamasic action. Sri Krishna uses the word kshaya, meaning decay. Tamasic action causes decay of one's health and vitality. It is a waste of effort, a waste of time, and a waste of resources. A typical examples for these are gambling, stealing, corruption, and drinking, etc. Harihi Om Tasas Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ravi
Thank you, sir.
Shankar ji.
Thank you, sir.
Such a
Thank you,
nice
sir.
explanation. And here, tamasic, very important word is moha. If we are doing it out of delusion, then mohad arabhyate karma. So if it is coming out of delusion, it is going to be
Yes.
useless. And as you rightly said, there is a kshaya. Kshaya means loss of energy, loss of resources. And one more is that we are not anapeksha, means we are not giving any kind of regard to anubandham. Anubandha means the consequence. So this consequence we all have to think. Now here once again, I am keeping only one thing in the mind, that how this conversation between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjun started. It started with Arjun getting depressed. Arjun not ready to perform a karma. Completely, going to against the karma and not ready to do that karma of fighting the war. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling Arjun, indirectly he is telling that these are the class. This is the classification of all the karmas. So you decide. See here, he has. If Arjun has been thinking and Arjun has been contemplating so much, then it means that he has thought about the consequences of the same. So, and he is not, doing it out of delusion. Now, moha, he has initially he has moha, and then he has raga. Everything is there towards his family, and he is deluded that okay, even if they are not in favor of his cousins are not in favor of him, they are ready to kill them. But still, he thinks, no, no, my cousins, my cousins, my cousins. So that is a kind of delusion. That is a kind of moha, which Bhagavan Sri Krishna, by discussing all these things, is trying to bring out. So in the background, when you think about each and every shloka, you will see that every shlok Bhagavan Sri Krishna is trying to break down those Asuri Sampat and bring that Daiviya Sampat and give him as much of freedom from the Trigunas and take him towards Gunatita state. Okay. Next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi Shankar ji.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
and all my friends.
Namaste,
Om,
Vijay
I am
Kumar.
chanting Shloka 26. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Mukta Sango Naham Vadi Dhrityursaha Samannitaha Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikara Karta Sattviga Uchyate. The basic translation of this sloka is: an agent who is free from attachment, non-egoistic, endured with firmness and zeal, and unaffected by success or failure is called a sattvika. Bhagavan gives an illustration of the traits of a sattvika is explained here. He mentions that the three ingredients of action, knowledge, and the action itself, and the doer, having described the categories of these two of them, knowledge and actions, he now steps into three kinds of performers of action. He clarifies that these situated in the mode of goodness are not inactive, rather, they work with enthusiasm and determination. The difference is that their work is performed in proper consciousness. Sattvic doers are mukta sangha. That is, they do not try to cling to the things in worldly attachments and affairs, nor do they believe that worldly things can bestow soul satisfaction. Hence, they work with noble motives. Since their intentions are pure, they are filled with ulsaha, zeal, and dhriti, strong resolves. Their mental attitude results in the least dissipation of energies while working. And they are also able to work tirelessly to fulfill their sublime motives and intentions. Even though they accomplish great things, they are anahamvadi, free from egotism, and they give all credit to the doership of things to God. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Namaste.
So from karma, we have come to karta. So this words will be similar. The idea will be similar here. Previously, we were thinking in terms of object. Now we are thinking in terms of subject. So it is a person. Now here, karta means here we are talking about a person. Like you can tell Dr. Mayur or Vijay Kumar ji, like that. Anybody, any person who is doing any kind of karma is karta. So here mukta sangaha. So free from any kind of attachment. Anahamvadi means non-egoistic. Dhriti utsaha samanvitaha. So it's very, very important that we are consistent in our efforts, and at the same time we are firm on our ground. Utsaha means what, with whatever consistency and with whatever firmness, we should be in the mood of joy, in the mood of zeal, and we should be doing our things. Whether we find siddhi or we find asiddhi, we should not be affected. So siddhaya siddhayor nirvikaraha. So we should not get vikara because of any kind of vikara happens because of success also. Success brings ego. Oh, you see, I have treated so many patients without surgery. That is my ego. I'm doing service to the society. I should not think that okay, I am doing something great. It happens. Sometimes it happens to me also. I feel like wow, I am doing some kind of amazing job or something like that. So that time I am not a sattvic karta. I am something else, which we will see in the next shloka. 27.
Jai Shri Krishna, Doctor. Namaste,
Jai Shri
everyone.
Krishna, Padmaji, after a long time, we are hearing you. Please come.
Chapter 18, Shloka 27. Ragi karma phala pretsum lubdo hinsatmako suchi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtita. A person who gets attached to the work and keeps working and expecting its fruit is greedy. Such a person is always after the material world and there is no end to his wants. Example, a businessman who keeps earning and is after money and money only and will not stop to think even that money is not everything and will not say enough is enough. He will keep making money and look and and work to acquire the material goods. There is no end to his greed. Jealousy makes him more and more greedy and wants to hoard more and more material goods. Joy and sorrow both affect him in a negative way. Dhanyavad. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you very much, Padmaji. That yes, we get we get too much attached to what we are doing, ragi. So that is there. And karma phala prepsu means I want the result of my karma, result of my action. And if not happening, or if I want to do something, I do it by hook or crook. So in that I can utilize the aspects of hinsa also. That is also happening. Ashuchihi means I am putting my work in a very dirty manner. Dirty manner is not only physically, but it means to be in the terms of behavior, in terms of our intentions also. Impure intentions. Harsha shokanvitaha means we are easily we get happy, easily we become sad. It keeps on happening. So that kind of karta is rajasic karta. So we should not become that kind of a person who is very shrewd and who is trying to become a cunning person and trying to do things which should not be done, or do things in a way which should not be done. Okay. So next to shloka number 28. Shloka number 28.
Namaste, Dr. Ji. Sundar speaking.
Sundarji, namaste.
Good evening, all.
Namaste.
Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Adha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ashtadasodhyayah Moksha Sanyaas Yogaha Ayukta Prakruta Stabdaha Sheto Naishkrutiko Lasaha Vishadi Dirgha Sutri Cha Karta Tamasa Uchyate. Karta, a performer, tamasaha, in the mode of ignorance, uchyate, it is said to be, ayuktaha, undisciplined, prakritaha, vulgar, stabdaha, obstinate, shataha, cunning, naishkritaha, dishonest or vile, alashaha, slothful, vishadi, unhappy and morose, dirghasruti, procrastinator. Cha and a performer in the mode of ignorance is one who is undisciplined, vulgar, stubborn, deceitful, slothful, despondent, and a procrastinator. Having described characteristics of the sattvic and the rajasic doer in the earlier verses, Sri Krishna concludes this topic by describing the characteristics of a tamasic doer. It is the longest list of the 3 types of doers. Even if we'll take a long time to cultivate sattvic qualities, it is fine. But we should strive to reduce and eventually eliminate any trace of these tamasic characteristics within us. Forget holding us back on the spiritual path. These qualities will become a detriment even to success in our material world. If the state of mind is tamasic while performing a task, the mind will be ayukta or unsteady. It will never be able to focus on one thing and will jump from thought to thought or from distraction to distraction. Prakriti, opposite of Samskrita, refers to a mind that is uncultured, uncouth, without proper values or the ability to think logically. Tamasic doership comes from tamasic vision, which always hangs on perversely to one particular object, viewpoint, person, or situation. Therefore, the mind becomes stabdha, unyielding, arrogant, unwilling to accept a different position. Some more dangerous characteristics are presented. A tamasic mind will not step at anything to accomplish its task. It will be shatatha, which means malicious, deceptive, fraudulent, playing games rather than being straightforward. To environment for others. It will be naishkritaha, which means wicked. Conversely, if the task is not up to its liking, the mind will be alashaha or lazy. It will always remain in a state of vishada, which means forever rejected, despondent and depressed. It will find ways to pawn the task off to someone else by procrastinating. The word dirgha sutri is long string or long length, that is a procrastinator. Such a person who is tamasic will take months to do a one-day task. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Sundarji. Here, very beautifully, Bhagwan Sri Krishna has put this word Vishadi, and as we all know, the first chapter was Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So this Bhagwan Sri Krishna is indirectly telling that Bhaiya, you are a tamas karta for now. Why? And we all keep on changing from being a tamas karta to being a rajasic karta to being a sattvic karta. Okay. So Arjun is responsible for by doing this tamasic karma or by becoming a tamasic karta. Arjun is responsible, as I have already told, as we have discussed many a number of times. I have already told that this is a kind of, please, what is this? So it is because of Arjun's Vishada, we are all here and discussing and understanding the intricacies of life and understanding how to conduct our lives. I don't have much to speak in this Tamasic Karta, but yes, definitely that if we frequently become unhappy, frequently we start becoming, depressed and all these things, and we become dejected, and then we are actually continuously blocking our own progress in life. I will give you one example. It is mentioned in one of the Bhagavad Gita books by Ramakrishna Mission, where we take example of fish in the water, and a fisherman will put fish net. So some fish, some of the fishes, they are not, they are not aware or they are not ready to do anything about it. That is tamasic karta. Then some of them, they take efforts, but those efforts are not complete. Those efforts are not smart, and those efforts are out of desperation, out of some kind of selfishness. That is rajasic karta, and that their effort is not successful. Then there are some who, without any kind of turbulence, without any kind of suffering, they come out of the net and they run away, they escape. So they are sattvic kartas. So always remember this example of fisherman and the fish net, and how some of the fishes, they get stuck. Some of them, they get stuck despite efforts. some of them are definitely smart enough to come out of the suffering. Thank you very much. Next one. Namaste.
Namaste, doctor.
Namaste. Who is this?
Shashikala Murthy.
Namaste ji. Namaste. Please continue.
So, happy Friendship Day to all my Henry Bandhus.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಿತ್ರತಾ ದಿವಸದ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. Please.
So, I'm going to chant the 29th Shloka of the 18th chapter. Buddher Bedam Rutaschaiva Gunatasvidam Shruno Prochyamana Masheshena Prutatvena Dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, please listen to this completely and with its distinctions. According to gunas, intellect and fortitude are said to be of three types. Sri Krishna provided a threefold class. Knowledge or dhanam prompts an individual. Karta or the doer is the state of mind while performing the action. Although the knowledge aspect supplies the doer with a target of action, it does not prescribe a plan of action as to how to get that object. Therefore, the buddhi, the intellect, gives the course of action. Once the intellect has determined the course of action, the doer needs to hold on to that course of action and not arbitrarily get distracted or change its tactics. The quality of holding on to something in spite of obstacles is known as dhruti or fortitude. Fortitude is nothing but which enables a person to encounter danger or pain or austerity, adversity with courage. Sri Krishna says that intellect and fortitude are part of Prakriti's gunas. So they also are divided into three types. He proceeds to describe them in the next 6 shlokas. He also emphasizes that he will give a complete description without leaving anything out. Gnanam is the goal, buddhi is the plan, and dhruti is the adherence to the plan. Even in our daily life, we see that different people can get the same outcome through different plans. Some people fail in face of obstacles, while some persevere and some see a roadblock as an opportunity to think outside the box, whereas some people are completely flummoxed. That means they are utterly confused. Understanding how to plan and how to stick to the plan has benefits in the material path as well as the spiritual. And I think the very chanting of the shlokas and the analyzing in itself is an example of this. And thank you, and Krishna Pranamastu.
Thank you
Hello.
very much. Thank you very much.
You able to hear me?
Yeah, in the end there was some disturbance, Amma. If you want to repeat last 1 or 2 lines, you are most welcome.
Okay. See, we come across this even in our daily life. We see that some people come out through those obstacles easily. Some fail to face the obstacles, while some persevere. Some see a roadblock as an opportunity. Some people are completely flummoxed, that utterly confused. Understanding how to plan, how to stick to the plan, has benefits in the material path as well as the spiritual. I also said that the very chanting of these shlokas and analyzing itself is a good example for us. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Shashikala ji. And just one more example, similar to the example of fish net and fisherman. Same way, one more example is of dolls. Like 3 types of dolls we can think of. One is a doll made up of salt. One is a doll made up of cloth. And another is a doll made up of stone. Now, when we dip all these three dolls, the doll which is made up of salt gets completely dissolved. It means becomes one with the water. The doll which is made up of cloth absorbs some water and becomes heavy. However, it does not become one with the water. And another one, doll which is made up of stone does not at all allow, only becomes wet on the surface. Otherwise, does not allow the weight or anything to change of the stone, and it remains separated from the water. So that is what is happening when we are becoming sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic kartas, respectively. With that, I will request the last person to summarize the 30th shloka.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir Ravishankar, 30th sloka, I'll chant 30th.
Please.
Pravrutincha nivruti karya karye baya baye bandham mokshancha ya vetim buddhihi sa partha sattvike. The intellect is said to be in the nature of goodness, O Partha, when it understands what is proper action and improper action, what is duty and what is non-duty, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. We constantly exercise our free will to make choices, and our cumulative choices determine where we reach in life. Robert Frost describes this in his poem, The Road Not Taken. I quote, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. To make proper choices, a developed faculty of discrimination is required. The Bhagavad Gita itself was spoken to Arjun to equip him with the power of discrimination. At the outset, Arjun was confused about his duty. His inordinate attachment to his relatives had bewildered his judgment regarding proper and improper action. Feeling weak and fearful, and in utter confusion, he had surrendered to the Lord and requested him to enlighten him regarding his duty. Through the divine song of wisdom, Lord Krishna helped Arjun develop his power of discrimination until he finally concluded, I have explained to you the knowledge that is more secret than all secrets. Ponder over it deeply and then do as you wish. The mode of goodness illumines the intellect with the light of knowledge, thereby refining its ability to discriminate the right and the wrong of things, actions, and sentiments. The sattvic intellect is one that makes known to us that what type of action is to be performed and what type of action is not to is to be renounced, what is to be feared and what is to be ignored. It explains to us the reasons for shortcomings in our personality and reveals the solutions for them. Harihi Om Tassat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ravi Shankar ji, for very beautiful explanation of this. Now we are discussing Buddhi, Sattvic Buddhi we have discussed. Next 10 shlokas we will discuss further. Here Sundar Vedantam ji is writing about in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata, Bhishma describes three characters under the name of three fishes, Dirghadarshi, Praptak Kalagna, and Dirgha Sutri. So Dirghadarshi is a far-sighted, anticipates danger. Prapta Kalagna means less active. And then Dirgha Sutri does not act at all. And the last fish fall into the net of fishermen and the story and dies. So that is what we were also discussing in this example of fish net. And that is why in that shloka also, if you see, there is ayuktah prakrutah stabdah shatho naishkrutiko lasah vishadi dirgha sutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. So dirgha sutri means the person who does not act, who just keeps on thinking too much and does not act much. That dirgha sutra is not good for our existence, and we diving deep into the sorrows, diving deep into the suffering is going to keep us more and more into the suffering mode only and ignorance. So with that, we will pause here. If anybody has anything to say, you are most welcome. And I see that there are around 7 people in YouTube live also. I request all of you to mark your presence, and namaste everybody. And in the chat section, you can put comments also. This is not just for the sake of, it is not like, okay, we have to grow in numbers and all these things. It's about collective consciousness, and we respecting and mutually understanding and mutually, you know, recognizing each other's divinity for that. And yeah, we are coming to the end of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We started in a very Vishada mode only when Corona pandemic was going on. And from there, we have come till here. We will be finishing. I request some volunteers. I request some volunteers to, we plan to arrange one program of Satyanarayan Katha and Bhagavad Gita Pujan. Soon after Srimad Bhagavad Gita, all the chapters are finished, and it may be after maybe 5 weeks later, after we finish the summary of Moksha Sanyaas Yoga. So I welcome all of you to this event which we will be organizing. So I request some volunteers on this. We don't need financial support. We need your voluntary personal support for conducting this program and making it a grand success. And this will be the Purnahuti to our Srimad Bhagavad Gita Parayan, which we have done throughout the Corona pandemic, and try to improve our collective consciousness.
Sure, sir. We will be with you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Anybody has anything to say?
Yeah, sure.
If not, then I will read the Gita Mahatmya and we will finish. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Radharamana Namaha. Dharo Vacha Bhagavana Parameshana Bhaktiravyabicharini Prarabdham Bhujyamanyasya Katham Bhavati He Prabho. Vishnuruvacha Prarabdham Bhujyamano Hi Gītābhyāsaratah Sada Samuktah Sasukhi Loke Karmana Nopalipyate Mahapapadi Papani Gītādhyanam Karoti Cheta Kvachit Sparsham Na Kurvanti Nalini Dalamam Bruvata गीतायाः पुस्तकं यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै सर्वे देवाश्च ऋषयो योगिनः पन्नगाश्च ये गोपाला गोपिका वापि नारदोद्धव पार्षदैः सहायो जायते शीघ्रं यत्र गीता प्रवर्तते यत्र गीता विचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्राहं निश्चितं पृथ्वी निवसामि सदैव हि गीताश्रयेऽहं तिष्ठामि गीता मे चोत्तमं गृहं गीताज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य त्रिलोकान् पालयाम्यहम् गीता मे परमा विद्या ब्रह्मरूपा न संशयः अर्धमात्रा नित्या अर्धमात्राक्षरा नित्या स्वानिर्वाच्य पदात्मिका चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुनम् वेदत्रयी परानंदा तत्वार्थ ज्ञान संयुता योष्टादश जपो नित्यं नरो निश्चल मानसः ज्ञान सिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम् पाठे समग्रे संपूर्णे ततोर्धं पाठमाचरेत् तदा गोदानजं पुण्यं लभते नात्र संशयः त्रिभागं पठमानस्तु गंगास्नानफलं लभेत् षडशं जपमानस्तु सोमयागफलं लभेत् एकाध्यायं तु यो नित्यं पठते भक्तिसंयुतः रुद्रलोकमवाप्नोति गणो उत्पवसेश्चिरम् अध्यायं श्लोकपादं वा नित्यं यः पठते नरः स याति नरतां यावन् मन्वन्तर वसुन्धरे गीतायाः श्लोकदशकं सप्तपञ्चचतुष्टयं द्वौ त्रीनेकं तदर्थं वा श्लोकानां यः पठेन्नरः चन्द्रलोकमवाप्नोति वर्षाणामयुतं ध्रुवम् गीतापाठसमायुक्तो मृतो मानुषतां व्रजेत् गीताभ्यासं पुनः कृत्वा लभते मुक्तिमुत्तमाम् गीतेत्युच्चारसंयुक्तो म्रियमाणो गतिं लभेत् गीतार्थश्रवणासक्तो महापापयुतोऽपि वा वैकुण्ठं समवाप्नोति विष्णुना सह मोदते गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम् गीतामाश्रित्य बहवो भूभुजो जनकादयः निर्धूतकल्मषालोके गीतायातः परं पदम् गीतायाः पठनं कृत्वा माहात्म्यं नैव यः पठेत् वृथा पाठो भवेत्यस्य श्रम एव हृदार्तः एतन्माहात्म्यसंयुक्तं गीताभ्यासं करोति यः स तत्फलमवाप्नोति दुर्लभां गतिमाप्नुयात् सूत उवाच माहात्म्यमेतद्गीताया मया प्रोक्तं सनातनं गीतान्ते च पठेद्यस्तु यदुक्तं तत्फलं लभेत् इति श्रीवाराहपुराणे श्रीगीतामाहात्म्यं सम्पूर्णम् ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. With your eyes closed, slowly take your both the hands back. Hold your right wrist with the left palm. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, bend from the root of the back. Touch your forehead to the ground. Express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, or parents and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Namaste, Dhanyavad, everybody.
Dhanyavad, sir.
Thank you very much.
Namaste, Shubhratri.
Shubharatri.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Shubhratri, Shubhratri to everyone.
Shubhratri all.
Namaste, doctor.
Thank you. Namaste, everybody.